So we cannot really have a patch for that. You have some comments, Nahil sir?
Ji, first brief introduction. My name is Nahil Mehmood. I'm Chief Executive of Delta Tech. We're a information security consulting company, and we only do consulting. We do not sell any products. We have worked in the last 6 years with telecoms, banking, some government, and lots of enterprises throughout the country. And we've noticed that there are five characteristics of information security, almost all across the country. And I'd just like to walk you through. And this is with all due respect to our colleagues, who are बहुत माशाल्लाह senior experts हैं. So there are exceptions, but more or less the entire Pakistan has these characteristics. The first one is that the first characteristic, information security in Pakistan is more or less reactive. It's not proactive. Something happens, an incident happens, a fraud happens, a breach happens, and then everybody goes around and runs and tries to put out the fire. So the proactive effort has not happened the way that it is done around the world, and that's why we could say that information security in Pakistan is one, reactive. The second characteristic for information security in Pakistan is that we found that it's superficial. Superficial, I mean that it's at a very cosmetic level. एक CISO रख लिए, उसके साथ 2 बंदे दे दिए, organization में 5,000 लोग हैं. There are 7,000 computers and about 5 people in information security, and in the presence of 150 people in IT, they cannot really do the task, and it's not really our fault. The third characteristic that we found is that there is contention in the field of information security, because within the organization, risk, information security, audit, and compliance. These 4 areas are in contention, and they're not working together to help solve the organization's problem. Neither do they have a common framework on which to direct the efforts so that everybody is working and looking at the same page. There are 4 different frameworks. Audit is taking you to Afghanistan. Compliance wants to take you to Iraq. Information security wants you to take you to North Korea. And compliance wants to take you in some other direction. And IT cannot handle all of these different frameworks. So there's contention, and people are not working together in the organization. The fourth characteristic that we found as consultants working all over from that vantage point as consultants is that there's a box approach. इसको कहते हैं डब्बा approach in Urdu. Right? So इसका डब्बा लगा लें, इसका डब्बा लगा लें, इसका डब्बा लगा लें, और डब्बों से आप जो आके अब golf जाके खेल सकते हैं. And that never happens because we never really got to the golf course. All the CISOs are sitting here, and unfortunately on डब्बों की utilization भी जब हम देखते हैं तो वो optimum नहीं होती. And the fifth characteristic that we found is that all of this put together, there's almost a denial of information security. Even the presence, there's a denial. So denial का ये मतलब है कि जी इसकी तो ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. And this really started changing when ransomware attack hit us. ये WannaCry जो है उसने रुलाया लोगों को, तो फिर और organizations को, तो फिर वो उनके आंसू निकले हैं, and then they realized, and then it was reactive, superficial contention, and box approach. Anyway, so yes, there are exceptions. People are working very hard. People are very competent. IT is very competent, but the entire ecosystem is missing. And these fine gentlemen who are sitting here, including myself, in the absence of that entire organizational approach and the awareness which is totally lacking in our country, we are struggling. I would say we are struggling.
Right.
Asaf, I'd like to say something very interesting and controversial.
Controversial as well.
With your permission, sir, for only 30 seconds. You see, most of the IT infrastructure in Pakistan was put up 7 to 10 years ago. Okay, with the networks, even 12 years ago. Now, this entire infrastructure, more or less, was laid out without the security baselines in place, which, as per international best practices, security and the infrastructure, when it's being put, it has to be put together. Now, this was an afterthought in Pakistan. There was no awareness 10 years ago or 12 years ago, and we had a very closed network as well. Now, what we have to deal with today, and all of these gentlemen to some extent have to deal with that, is that there's a lot of legacy, and there's a huge and massive infrastructure, hundreds of applications, thousands of network devices. And when someone, a senior CISO like the people you have in the panel, when they usually step into an organization, they find that the entire IT setup is insecure. And no work was actually done to secure that. And now they're working on roadmaps. And So you're talking about a digital transformation, but what we need is an information security transformation. Because we are one generation behind now, because 10 years ago, जब ये IT infrastructure लगा है, तो उस वक्त तो security को ignore किया गया बिल्कुल. Now we are struggling and trying to catch up, and unfortunately we cannot, what we have observed, and we are consultants, what we have observed is that with normal measures, because there's 25 different initiatives taking place in the IT organization, and there's, let's say, only 100 people in IT. So how are they going to do the security transformation is very, very difficult and challenging, and that's something that we all have to scratch our heads. Because, like I said, entire IT infrastructure, जिस तरह data center लगाने में मेहनत लगती है, पूरा center लगता है, design होता है, deployment होती है, planning होती है, और फिर वो सारा setup लगता है. It's a major effort in an organization. इसी तरह security का infrastructure खड़ा करना पड़ता है आपको. वो हमारा more or less absent था 10 साल पहले, और अब हम उसको catch up करने के लिए we have to have a surgical operation. Normal efforts बड़े मुश्किल हैं. It's very, very difficult, and then, like I said, it's very reactive and superficial. तो हम क्या करते हैं? What we do is we offer a transformation consulting program. We step into an organization, we help and strategize, and we bring focus as consultants, because it's not that the organization can't do it. The focus inside the organization rarely exists, because you have to bring several stakeholders on board. So again, different ways to handle it. However, we need a security transformation now.
Security transformation.
Before the digital transformation, there needs to have security transformation needs to take place.